we want to bring out a special guest that we met at the comic book convention, and he doesn't really have a name. It's just called the Green Monster, but it's Anthony Jones, and it's a very nice, very talented guy who makes costumes. Please. Hi, Anthony. Welcome to Beyond Vaudeville. Okay. Oh, okay. And maybe you can just grab a seat next to David there. You think you can fit in over there? Now, oh, look at all that. Now, oh, his eyebrows go up and everything. Okay. All right, David. David. All right. Let's just calm down. All right. Maybe Anthony. All right. Yeah, there, right on the edge is okay, right, David? Okay. There we go. I just have a seat there. All right, Anthony. He doesn't like to. All right. Maybe Anthony. There's a chair over there. Maybe you could get. I think that might be a better idea. Yeah, that one's okay. Okay. Now, this is a... Oh, but over on the side, maybe, so everyone can be seen here. Okay. All right. Everything's under control. Anthony is going to sit down. There we go. There.
Easy, boys, easy.
He deserves the seat there. Now, while in which, have you done plate spinning or anything like that before?
No.
Basically, the piano and the impressions.
Just that sort of thing, yeah. And I've written a lot great many songs.
Yeah, and Anthony, and thank you. I'm glad you could sit down. David, thank you for being courteous and letting Anthony sit down. And let's play this now, the Boney Maroney. No, that's the end of the other song. Okay, oh, here we go.
Man, go. Hey, crazy. Guy got a lot of walls. Don't hit him, baby. Don't hit him. He's lost all his feet already. Laughing behind his back. All the funny things are in front, though. No. Funny mug. She's so finished, she really catches the eye.
Okay, well, I think we have a couple of seconds left. Sorry, I thought that was going to be the end. But let's quickly show the Freddy Krueger spitballs that you can get, too. Don't forget that. And the New Kids on the Block trading cards.
They knock your teeth out.
And, no, well, they do give you the gum. But there's Donnie. Remember, there's the Donnie. And on the back, there's the puzzle you can put together if you get all the pieces. Okay, and also the Turtles cards too. You can't forget, because they're just as they're almost. I would say they're even better than the New Kids, because I don't really like the New Kids. But anyway, we'll show you more next time, and please join again Beyond Vaudeville. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Okay, the music's coming. Okay, so don't take your Okay. No, if we did. Okay.
They said it was a nice show.
Now put that down, Lois. No.
military quit.
Thank God I took out collision.
David, maybe you could... All right, David. You didn't mean that. Got a little wild there. Okay. All right, David.
That's right. That's a shame. You thought the West Side High was bad. Yeah. We almost got killed there.
Mr. Willard.
Are you kidding? I thought it was going terrifically.
Well, it was until he threw the Barney doll at the...
Frank, tell me a little about your background. Where did you come from? And how did you get this job?
Well, now, we've been doing the show for...
Not we, no, you. I want to know. Or you using the royal we?
Well, no, hey, welcome the Ventris family to the program. Hello, welcome to the show. Now, there we go. Now, you're Mr. Tony Ventris.
Tony Ventris.
And you want to introduce the others here?
My son Anthony Ventris, he's 5 years old.
Hi, Anthony.
My wife Cindy Ventris.
Hi, Cindy.
My brother-in-law Robin Rios. How you doing?
Hi, Mr. Rios. And now, how long have all of you been fans?
I've been fans ever since they started, and ever since my son was born, I really got into it really a lot, and I got my wife involved and my brother-in-law involved.
Oh, and you must like Peter Criss from your makeup.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I can see that.
I like the Peter Criss since the beginning.
Okay, you have one of the dolls too, I see.
I have 3 of the dolls.
We also got Vinnie Vincent too.
Vinnie Vincent and
Eric Carr.
And Eric Carr.
Oh, wow.
And Eric.
Now, were those specially made or?
Yes. Specially made.
Wow. Wow.
We also got the Paul Stanley fire hat that was specially made.
And also
Gene Simmons gargoyle boots.
Specially made shoes.
I guess there was a little controversy, some controversy with KISS, that that KISS stood for Knights in the Service of Satan. Was that not true, or?
That's not true.
That's not true. Okay, well, then we straightened that out right there, I think, fortunately. Now, we do have a lot of people we want to bring out, and we hope, you can join us and, stay with us. And if we can please introduce our next guest, who has the Ace Frehley Traveling Museum. And we want to welcome, please, Mr. Bill Baker to the program. Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Now, Mr. Baker, now you are with the... There we go. Now, you actually have your own band, right? Fractured Mirror,
Yep.
It's called?
I imitate Ace.
Wow.
There's a lot of bands imitate KISS, so we chose to do the one different thing.
Okay. And Ace, we should point out right over here. And
This knucklehead right here.
some similarities. Now, you've actually met Mr. Frehley, right?
Yeah, I did some guitar and amp work for him and helped him out a bit. And through our mutual friendship, I started to build up a collection of things he just really didn't want anymore, didn't really care, so I started taking care of it, take it around the conventions and set it up for everyone to ooh and ah at.
Now, they're getting back together for their reunion, though. How are they going to travel if you have all his things?
This was Ace's travel bag here.
Wow.
And
that's the actual bag he had with him when he went.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I made him sign it before he gave it to me.
Oh, look at that.
And so this is from one of the original costumes.
Wow. Could I try it on?
Sure, go ahead. You could be Ace for a little while.
Wow. That was right on his...
Put your hand all the way through.
Oh, boy. Wow.
So this was the original to the one that they recreated.
Okay.
Silver lining through the dark clouds shining. Turn the dark clouds inside out till the boys come home. There's a silver lining through the dark clouds shining. Turn the dark clouds inside out till the boys come home.
Oh, very good.
Thank you, sir.
Dave West, you have something to...
Frank, speaking of the war, they're coming out with a new movie about the Iraqi Air Force. It's starring Cheech and Chong. It's called Up in Smoke.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Now, actually, Dave West, you're a big comic book collector. And actually, Tiny Tim was a big comic book collector.
Well,
right?
I remember in the late 30s, early 40s, I had the first 22 issues of Captain America. That's when he had a shield, which was pointed. And the first issue... Then
Triangular.
Right.
Triangular shield.
And then they turned it into a round little shield. After that, I had the 2nd to 7th issue, 6th issue of Marvel Comics. I never got the first issue. I remember Prize, Jumbo, Jungle.
Planet Comics, Ranger Comics, Fight Comics, Blue Bolts, Daredevil, had them all. It was a great period of time, a great period of, you know, it was a great fantasy for the city.
Right.
And for the world. And if you notice today, all the Buck Rogers ideas, the computers today are the robots in the comic books going back 40, 50 years ago. The same with the flying saucer. I remember Spy Smasher used to be one of the comic characters of the time. If I remember correctly, had a round little disc, you know, in the air too. So it's amazing to see how, you know, these subconscious gifts that, you know, the good Lord gave to man is now coming true in reality, going back even 100 years ago, from the days of Jules Verne, when he invented, you know, the submarine. And,
Edgar Rice Burroughs, Tarzan.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, you see, you learn lots of things with Beyond Vaudeville. I guess Mr. Wolf, I think, maybe had to go to do his news.
Yeah, because you embarrassed him.
All right, David. Oh, I wasn't sitting next to him, was I, David? Was I? Maybe you?
You can ask him some normal questions like the ones I gave you.
Okay. Well,
body in arsenic and old lace.
All right. Well, why don't we bring out our next...
By the way, has anybody got a spare bottle of arsenic and old lace? I think this guy can use it.
Thank you, David. Maybe you should become the permanent host, co-host.
We'll talk salary after the show.
Okay, sounds good to me, David West, that is. Okay, well, let's introduce our next guest.
Ooh, tension.
Okay, it's all right. Let's introduce our next guest. And, Jim, just have to get your mic there. Okay. Now, our next guests are quite well known and actually making a very big comeback. And we'd like to introduce, please, the one and only Cordettes. Okay. Lynn, you'd like to maybe have a seat there. The microphone. Okay. It's very complicated here.
Yes. Do we hook these into ourselves someplace?
Well, who's the primary spokesman?
She's the big mouth here.
Okay.
I am.
All right. Well, maybe she should have the mic so we could definitely hear everything. I apologize for my co-host and his little outburst there. But let's bring things back now to some normal things. Now,
okay.
Now, you started in 1946 from Wisconsin?
Well, yes, in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and sang for barbershop shows all over the Midwest and so on. And in 1949, went on the Talent Scout show, Arthur Godfrey show.
Godfrey, right?
Yeah, and won that show. Interesting, the fellow that lost was Wally Cox. You remember Mr. Peepers?
And the Underdog also, he did the right voice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was great talent. Great talent.
Now, from there, so you stayed with them for 4 years with the Arthur Godfrey program, right? And
yes, we were there about 4 years, and Archie Blyer was the musical director of the show. And when he left and formed his Cadence Record Company, we went with him. And I think we were a barbershop quartet first. And so when we went with Archie, we did 2 recordings. And the second recording we did with musical accompaniment was Mr. Sandman. And then after that, we were just all over the place.
And that was, so now you mentioned the barbershop and Mr. Sandman. And maybe if you could share a little of that with the audience, would that be possible?
Well, we'll do a little bit of Sandman, okay?
Oh, great.
Maybe you'll leave your pal up here.
Well, don't worry about him, Dave. All right, let's concentrate now.
Well, let's see how. Yeah. You all have mics? Do you have a mic?
I don't know which one ended up on this one.
Do we all need mics, by the way?
It'll pick
Can you hear me here?
Will they pick it up?
Pick up.
Bum 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 bum. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Bum 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 bum, make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Bum 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 bum, give him 2 lips like roses and clover, and tell him that his lonesome nights are over.
Very good. Now, Mr. Tim, do you do that song in your act?
No, I don't, but that was fantastic.
Okay.
That was fantastic.
Well, you know, he plays the ukulele, and that was one of the instruments that Godfrey always loved to play.
Right.
Remember, Tim? Remember?
I learned it from him.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you had some other hits, the Lollipop song. That was
Yeah,
a
we
big
had
hit,
Lollipop and Born to Be With You, Eddie My Love, Soft Sands. I think the last one we did before we went on, what's that word?
Just between you and me.
Hiatus?
I
don't like to say retire. We retired at 64. But that last number that we did was Never on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
so,
within a Monday, a Sunday, that song with the...
Yes, it was considered kind of suggestive at that time.
Oh, okay. Now, and also the Mr. Sandman now has become very popular once again. It's been used in the car ad.
The Jeep Chrysler commercial. They've used it. It's been in several movies. It's going to be in a new movie with Whoopi Goldberg, Long Walk Home, I believe it is. It just has a life of its own.
It's almost 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have arthritis yet.
The Chordettes can be contacted, and I wanted to give the address. So if you get your pens and paper handy, it's Class Act Enterprises Limited at P.O. Box 272, Merrick, New York 11566. And now, are you all from Merrick or no? Is that the...
Well, no. A couple of us are from New Jersey. Nancy and Doris are from New Jersey. Jean, right over there.
Okay.
Jean lives in the city. Live on Long Island.
Okay. Now, Tiny, you're living in New York nowadays, right? You don't want to leave New York at all, or?
Hello.
I'm always in with work anyway from here to Australia, so this is just the base, when I'm here.
Okay. Tiny, do you know any of the Chordette songs that you could share, or you?
Well, Mr. Sandman was, the world knows it. I mean, I'm not trying to make you feel it. The greatest singing group, for women in the 50s. I mean, they just mentioned Born to Lose. Was that the one? Born to
Be With You.
Born to Lose is Ray Charles. What was the one, the Lollipop song?
Lollipop, right.
Is that Lollipop? Lollipop?
Yes, yes. That was in Stand By Me.
Unbelievable success. I remember hearing them all and seeing them all in '53. I used to go down to Mr. Godfrey's shows and watch them with Archie Blyer. This was a #1 selling group.
Now, actually, Mr. Tim, it was in your bio, but they wouldn't let you go anymore, though, right? They threw you out?
Asked me to leave after seeing 5 shows in a row.
Oh.
That was back in 1950, and he was the first one to have the top of the morning Tonight Show type of format. He was, in my opinion, a great charismatic radio figure, as well as television. And of course, in a sense, I deserve to be kicked out because I asked people every day, and a little obnoxious. I don't blame him for that. The man was a tight, very strict, man. He also, in my opinion, was troubled by his leg, which he had that accident going back years.
He had a hip problem, right.
And also, but in my opinion, since you're so nostalgic in your show, Mr. It is my opinion that there are certain no-nos in this business where the shadow of Cain comes upon you, and from then on you're a marked person. And I still believe that the firing of Julius LaRosa was the end of Mr. Godfrey's career, because I remember right after that, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, you could get all the tickets you wanted before you had to wait months in line. And the same, as it happened so many times in this business, on radio with Uncle Don, and years later, with Lou Ayres in the 40s when he didn't join the service. Okay. So there are shadows of Cain in this business that can kill a career. Unfortunately, in my opinion, Mr. Godfrey's career died when he fired LaRosa.
Okay.
The press came upon him immensely.
Yeah, well,
Can you say something, Chris?
Well, I just want to say maybe I should fire David right on this show.
Which David?
No, not you, David. David. Okay, David. Just all right. Now, Nancy Overton is Nancy. You did the pop on the Lollipop song, right?
Yeah.
Which
it
everyone
doesn't work every time, but usually it does. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Now,
That's lovely, Nancy.
now, just we do have one more guest to bring out before we go on, and it's a regular guest on the show, of course, and it's Joey the monkey. He's going to do a dance for us, and it's the music.
Hi.
The music ready for Joey? Maybe.
There's a man of mystery roaming through this land. Oh, far and near you hear of him. He's found on every hand. Every city, town, and village knows this boy by now. There's a way to recognize him. Let me tell you how. If you're past the midnight dark beside a graveyard ghost, if someone was that's a serious note. Or on some dark and stormy night while the tempest blows, if someone was that's a serious note. He sees all, knows all.
Okay, maybe that's enough, Joey. Thank you, Joey. Okay, well, now everything is under control here, I think. Now, Mr. Tim, you actually performed very early on at the Ubert's place on 42nd
That's
Street, right?
I was there in '57, I think. That's when the voice was really high for a week. And they announced me as the body of a man and the voice of a bird. That's when I sang don't remember me, but I remember you. 'Twas not so long ago, you and I were through, tears on my pillow. And they had, the Little Anthony song. And basically, they came in and paid 25 cents just to hear the voice.
Now, by the other acts, there were some, there was a flea circus there, right? And
yeah, they had Hubert's, they had 25 fleas trained to music. They were dancing to music. They also had the elephant lady with feet exactly like an elephant. They had a man playing Anchors Away on 10 glasses. It was an hour show for 25 cents. Everyone sang for about, did whatever they did for about maybe a minute or two.
Okay.
I got paid $25 a week. $60.
Did I fool you, Miss Evans? That's
Yes, you
the
did.
Dark Man guy.
Who was that?
Tiny, now you also were a messenger, right? Early on, and that was at the MGM place.
That was the greatest place. That was at 1540 Broadway. I was there about 51 to 52. It was a great thrill. That was the movies, were still movies. They had Low State there. I happened to meet up there Paul Henry, who played Bette Davis and now Voyager, and so many others there. Also, Forrest Tucker came in there. May he rest in peace. What a great actor. And the same
from the F Troop show, right?
Right.
Right. Okay.
Great actor. And also, I didn't meet her, but Vera Ellen came in.
Joey, come on in now. Joey, I can't waste too much time with the show's running out. You have to come on and do it. All the fans want to see you. Come on, Joey. Come on, I'll make it okay. All right, Joey's coming. He's going to do a special act which hasn't been done in many years, since the Ed Sullivan program, probably. Oh, Joey, how are you?
The award-winning Beyond Vaudeville program with your host, Frank Hope, and your co-host, David Green. Special co-host, Fred Willard. Wolf Pesmonic, Suzanne Muldowney, Lou Bacala Carey, Joey the Monkey, and lots more.
Please stay with us, and as we introduce a regular...
and timely, too, Pete, with all the craziness that's going on.
That's right, Mr. Willard.
Every place.
This program is educational and...
on the West Side Highway, you wouldn't believe what's going on. Trying to come up, a policeman shot at our car.
Okay.
And then laughed.
What happened to the car?
Oh.
Well, it's, it's a rental, so we don't...
Okay. Now, our next guest
then he laughed,
is a regular member member of the Beyond Vaudeville family, and she does several characterizations, including Underdog. And let's welcome, please, Miss Suzanne Muldowney. Wolf and David, maybe you could move down a little bit. Yes. Okay. Okay.
They sure
Suzanne,
are.
you want to have a seat there? And okay. Maybe.
You need a mic?
Okay. Maybe you want to have a seat, Suzanne?
Yes. Can you move down?
Sure.
Oh, okay, Mr. Willard.
If you need a mic.
Yo. Okay. Mr. Willard, maybe there's a mic behind Mr. Posturnik's back. Maybe, the mics are always a problem. Now, Suzanne, now you've been doing Underdog dances. Now, you first became familiar with Underdog in 1965. Is that right? 1965, you first became familiar?
Yes, I started with Underdog in '65, but well, that wasn't my first exposure to aerial superheroes. It had begun in the mid-'50s with the Superman TV series beginning starring George Reeves. I was attracted first to Superman mostly because, unlike the majority of fictional superheroes, he flew.
Okay. Now, Underdog had some program flaws, as you refer to them, right?
Yes.
Now, what exactly what was the problem with the Underdog cartoon?
Well, there were a number of reasons. In the first place, some scoffers claim he was strictly a parody of Superman, but then so were other fictional superheroes, and they in turn were respected as integral and valid enough the way they were. But unfortunately, I felt I didn't believe it at first until someone else began pestering me to think negatively. Though Underdog was created, I guess, as strictly entertainment for kids, a lot of the flaws in the characters and the stories were they were very simplistic, and consequently that meant a very low intelligence level. Now, somehow any good children's programming was expected to be a little more intelligent than they were. Okay. If the stories had a low intelligence level and were too simplistic, then the heroes got too easily entrapped by the villains, there was too much violence, and the show was criticized as being too bad an example, and also it was said to have too much fantasy. It had to somehow be believable enough to pass for real.
Okay, well, let's get the music now, please. And I'll put it on here on the record player.
Are you familiar with Underdog, the cartoon? David, are you familiar with the cartoon?
Have to find the right spot on the record.
That's good.
Okay, here we go.
Voiceover now of the peace poetry. This would be a good getting two things at once.
you, Suzanne. That was spectacular. Okay, now we have one other regular we'd like to bring
This is
here.
what they call a bomb shelter. Go ahead.
Joey the monkey.
Oh, yes. Fantastic.
He's going to do a little dance for us, and then we can wrap up.
Look at
Joe.
this.
Okay.
2 hours
Hey,
to
Joey.
do 2 hours to do 5 minutes.
I was. Oh,
See?
I thought it'd be.
I thought it was gonna let you out.
This is a long show, isn't it, Frank?
29 minutes.
29? It seems like.
You hope it's a short dance.
Okay, Joey, don't make
That was
Mr. Willard
great,
dance
thank
too
you.
much now. Okay. Maybe.
You know, if we could.
Okay.
They said it was a nice show.
Now put that down, Joey. No. All right.
Some peace poetry, quick.
Thank God I took our collision.
David, maybe a bit. All right, David. He didn't mean that. Got a little wild there. Okay. No. All right, David.
That's right. That's a shame. You thought the West Side Highway was bad.
Yeah.
All right.
We almost got
I'm
killed
sorry,
there.
Mr. Willard.
Are you kidding? I thought it was going terrifically.
Well, it was until he threw the Barney doll at the.
Frank, tell me a little about your background. Where did you come from? And how did you get this job?
Well, now we've been doing the show for.
Not we, no, you. I want to know. Or you using the royal we?
Well, no, all of us have been doing the show for 3 years. We met at the one of the creation science fiction conventions, and we thought, oh, wouldn't it be great to have people like Suzanne, who we met at a lot of the conventions, and to showcase well-known talent like Mr. Carey and Wolf, right, Mr. Posmanik, and that's how we got started.
Terrific.